He had wanted to find an ordinary power leveler, but in the end, he discovered he had actually found a god tier 1. What kind of experience is that? I'm afraid Mo Lihai, the person involved, has the most right to speak on the matter. So, how did Mazi, all by himself, carry the completely AFK Mo Lihai, and with an air of absolute, crushing dominance, manage to take first place in the Great Demon Subduing Tournament? You may have destroyed my cultivation technique, but I believe that as long as I have your help, even without the 18 demon grinding body, I am confident I can obtain that handsome and powerful physique. Since I have already promised, I, Wang, will certainly assist with all my might. In the current plot of the animation, Mazi, with the help of Mo Lihai, from within the Red Pavilion, has cultivated the Slaughter Immortal art to some success. With Mazi's current level of strength, combined with the 3,000 douse of slaughter intent, even slaying a Wending Realm expert, an early stage master, is no difficult task. When Mazi came out of his seclusion, and Mo Lihai learned of this, he naturally couldn't stop smiling. But after all, talk is cheap. Therefore, he was still a bit skeptical. But the next things that happened left Mo Lihai completely dumbfounded. The rest of it was before the Great Demon Subjugation competition. All participants were to go and pay their respects to the Demon Emperor. Privately, he was good friends with the handsome and wealthy Zhuan Fushui. Mo Lihai was naturally no exception and brought Mazi along to go and pay his respects. It is worth mentioning that this person's strength was at the initial Wending stage. During their casual chat, Zhuan Fushui learned that Mo Lihai, regarding his chances of winning the championship this only had a 50% certainty, but with Mazi, it was as high as 90 to 100%. He then looked at Mazi with utter disdain, because he suspected that this Mo Lihai was somewhat boasting. After all, in his eyes, Wang Lin, this outsider cultivator, was only at the Yingbian late-stage great perfection level. Although such a cultivation level was impressive, it was quite common in the Great Demon Subjugation competition. So, in order to deflate Mo Lihai's ego a bit, he proposed that Mazi hit him with a full-powered punch. Naturally, Wang Lin didn't indulge this arrogant and haughty Zhuan Fushui. He directly used over 2,000 streams of slaughter cha, condensing it into his right fist. With a single punch, he sent Zhuan Fushui flying and coughing up a stream of fresh blood, staggering back several steps. Only then did Quan Fushui realize that he was done for this time. So he exclaimed that Mazi indeed had that kind of power. After the two of them left the other party's mansion, Mo Lihai then started to see Mazi in a completely new light. Because now, Mazi's strength was already far superior to his own. Therefore, Mo Lihai went from calling Mazi younger brother Wang, as he used to constantly calling him brother Wang. He also took out the fine wine he had treasured for many years, and invited him to drink heartily together. I have to say, Mo Lihai, when it comes to a powerful figure, is really quite slick. The second point, about Wei Yingti from the Daluo Sword Sect, one of the 12 sons. He came forward to issue a challenge to Mo Lihai. Mazi already had a poor impression from the Daluo Sword Sect to begin with. And then this Wei Yang, at the late-stage Yingbian realm, even went out of his way to provoke him. You must be the 7th son. Would you be willing to have a little match with me? Mazi, relying solely on the mark of life condensed on his body, made the sword energy that Wei Yang released completely unable to harm him. Furthermore, with a perfectly timed single strike, he completely crushed this person. In just a single round, he easily defeated an expert at the late-stage Yingbian realm. Seeing this, Mo Lihai was inwardly incredibly relieved that he hadn't chosen to make an enemy of Wang Lin back then. As for that young Mazi, he wasn't killed in the Mo residence either, because the other party was carrying a spiritual gift from the heavenly ape that proved to be effective, the life-bound sword Che of the 12 beauties of Yi Dao. With this item, it was enough to kill some experts in the early to mid-Wending realm. Later, Mazi took advantage of Wei Yang letting his guard down while on their way back, and secretly used his killing aura to pierce through the other's skull. It was a fatal blow. However, while Mazi was in seclusion refining Wei Yang's soul, at that very moment, Mo Lihai, maybe to give Mazi a bit of a challenge, or for some other reason, muddle-headedly agreed to a private duel with Mo Fei, and he was utterly defeated in this battle. Most importantly, the two of them had made an agreement before the fight. The losing party would not be allowed to appear in the Grand Demon General competition. Only their supporter could fight in their place. At this point, Mo Lihai was so full of regret that he was kicking himself. You have to understand, according to the original plan, he should have been able to securely win the position of vice commander, because among these demon generals, the top three in terms of strength were Mo Fei and Mo Lihai and Shizi, the three of them. But Kefu Shuai had always held to spots, if nothing unexpected happened, plus Mazi, whose strength had now greatly increased. He, Mo Lihai, would certainly take one spot. But now, this little incident had occurred. Although later Mo Lihai pleaded with Mazi for this competition to definitely go all out, but the hope of winning was so slim. He knew that better than anyone. The Demon General competition had a total of 2 stages. This first stage was a 2-on-2 individual match between the sides. Whichever side that could completely defeat the other would advance to the next stage. The combatants were called by the Demon Emperor's confidant, Manager Jin, who was responsible for calling out the name. Others could choose to fight or not. And this lineup with only Mazi was naturally at a disadvantage. But there was a demon general named Adi, who wanted to take advantage of the situation. His strength among the demon generals was only ranked as lower middle tier. He had originally planned to use Mazi as a stepping stone to advance to the next stage. But in the end, he screwed up big time. Not only was he defeated in a single move, and in order to intimidate the others, he also beat his opponent until all his meridians were severed. Even if he recovered in the future, he would be left drooling. As for Adi's supporter, he was so scared by Mazi's ruthless and decisive nature that he immediately conceded defeat. And just like that, Mazi, under the demon general's utterly incredulous gazes, smoothly advanced to the next round. Of course, the happiest one was naturally the one on the side cheering for Mazi, Mo Lihai. As for this second round, it was a drum-hitting challenge. The top 2 with the most strikes would be successfully chosen for the role of the handsome suitor. And this drumhead was made from the skin of a goo demon. Striking it was said to be extremely difficult, and the recoil from each strike was stronger than the last. A slight mistake, and one could be shaken to death by the drum's sound. Therefore, anyone who could strike it more than 7 times would be recognized throughout the entire Heavenly Demon Prefecture as an outstanding individual. Since ancient times, no one has been able to strike it more than 10 times alone. The first to go up was a demon general of upper middle strength, Yu Sen. He gave it his all but only managed 4 strikes. The second to go up was Mo Fei and his supporter, Haiju. Mo Fei, relying on his revolving wheel technique, managed to strike it 7 times, plus Haiju, in order not to let himself. The 4 strikes he made while injured amounted to a total of 11 times. The third one to take the stage was Mazi, but no one thought highly of him, including Mo Lihai. But, as it turned out, Mazi didn't hesitate in the slightest. He directly struck it 5 times, shocking the entire audience. But that wasn't all. Later, Mazi relied on his mark of life to protect himself, and then, in one fell swoop, struck it all the way to the 11th time. This time, the crowd and the heavenly marshal looked at this outsider cultivator with a whole new level of respect. They had thought this young man would stop there. But because Mazi was cleansed by the drum's sound, and had gained some enlightenment on its artistic conception, he forcefully struck it another 4 times. Just like that, Mazi had struck it 15 times, an unprecedented and magnificent feat. He became the final winner of this second trial. Mo Lihai also successfully obtained the position of deputy marshal because of this. But at this moment, because of the breakthrough in Mazi's artistic conception, he was on the verge of reaching the pinnacle, coupled with his heaven-defying level of cultivation, which the heavenly Tao could not tolerate. He therefore attracted a heavenly tribulation. With Mazi's current strength, he was completely unable to confront it alone. It was the ancient beings from within the heavenly demon county, Yao Jialing. He sensed the god of stocks aura inside the other person. He wanted to use the other's god of stocks power to escape the sky demon prefecture and thus devour the demon spirits of the other prefectures to restore his peak strength. So he reached an agreement with Mazi to help him block the coming heavenly tribulation. Later, Wang Lin, after 10 years of secluded cultivation in the Heaven and Earth Grotto, successfully broke through to the initial ascendant stage when he returned to the Sky Demon Prefecture to fulfill his original promise to the ancient demon Beiluo. To make things easier for him, the ancient demon Beiluo granted Mazi a new status, the spirit restraining role, a position even above the demon, the official title of envoy. And now, Mo Lihai, who was a rich and handsome man, upon seeing Wang Lin, had no choice but to bow his head and call him senior. But it was also because of this connection to Mazi that he became an existence that even the demon emperor would not dare to easily make an enemy of. You could say that this person, Wang Lin, in the entire story, made the smallest investment, but reaped the greatest reward of them all.